What's going on, everyone? It's Marco, and today I'm going to be unboxing the motherboard for my Celeron build. The Celeron that I previously unboxed in my previous video was going to be going in here. This is going to be the MSI B250M Mortar Arctic Edition. So this motherboard here is white. I really have wanted a white motherboard for a long time, and at $85, this one was so hard to pass up. It was like $10 more than a similar black motherboard, and just I've had black motherboards in pretty much every build since I was like really young, so it's cool to change it up. I'm pretty excited for it. So this is the box here, as you guys can see, and yeah, so here's the back of the box. You can see here that it's got quite a few features that we'll kind of touch base on throughout the unboxing while we actually look at the motherboard itself. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and start unboxing this thing. We're just going to go ahead and get started here. So upon first look, the box looks like any other motherboard box. Like I was showing you earlier, we have all this stuff on the back that it kind of talks about here. You guys can kind of pause that there and look at its features. It's a pretty cool motherboard, I think, for the price especially. It's got that isolated audio thing that a lot of motherboards have now, and of course a lot of motherboards now have the reinforced PCI Express slot to help eliminate GPU sag and wear and stress on the actual PCI Express slot. So that's a pretty cool feature now that I'm starting to see in a lot of motherboards. This is going to be kind of similar in a way actually to Gigabyte's motherboards. The one I have in my main gaming PC is the Gigabyte Z170X Gaming 3, and that one has reinforced PCI Express slots as well. That's a pretty cool feature. I think more than anything it's more for looks, because I really don't know of any graphics cards that'll break a PCI Express slot off of a motherboard, but I don't know, that's a topic for another discussion here. So we're going to go ahead and open this up, and look at that. That's beautiful right there. It's amazing. This right here is the motherboard, obviously, so we're going to go ahead and pull that out, and we're going to go ahead and set it aside for the time being as we go ahead and see what else is in the box. Okay, so we just have this foam here, I guess that kind of protects the motherboard and isolates it from all the other stuff in here, so we'll just set that aside. And then some cardboard here. Now we have our goodies, so we're going to have two Sata cables here. It's going to come with one that's kind of angled. That usually comes in handy for when you're mounting a hard drive. I think that's like really close to the edge of the case. That's what I've seen it come in handy for. Other than that, I don't really know why you'd want that. Just keeps it more like flush, I guess you could say. Keeps it from sticking out too much, so nothing too special there with some Sata cables. We've of course got what looks to be our driver disk here. That's all important, especially for running Windows, which in this case I'm not. I'm going to be running Linux on this PC, so I'm probably not going to have to use this, but I may. I doubt it has Linux stuff though on here, so so yeah. And then thank you for choosing my product kind of thing is what MSI is saying. Register it, whatever. And then we have our I/O shield here. It's really nice actually. It's got the MSI logo here. It's really cool. Really like that actually. It's a nice touch. So there's that there. And looks like here we have some instructions on how to install your CPU and some how to get your heatsink on there, it appears. And on the back we have some information about installing RAM and all that. And then here's a whole list on how to get your CPU installed. It looks like here a whole pictorial guide here, if that's even a word. I think it is. If it's not, I made it up though. And then we have what looks like an instruction manual here. User guide, user guide. So for H270 and B250M chipsets, or H270M, I'm sorry there, yeah. So that's pretty cool there. This blue stripe here makes me think that the motherboard has a blue light on it, but I don't really know. I hope it does, because this build here is going to be kind of like an Arctic theme build, although it's going to be in a black case. I have a white case for a Ryzen build I'm planning on doing at some point in the future, hopefully near future. But I'm going to be saving that one for an actual like kind of powerful build. But yeah, I'm kind of going with like a blue and white theme on this build here. Even though it's going to be kind of just playing around with Linux and all that, I still want it to look cool in the room. So this is going to be it. We're going to go ahead and take it out of its ESD wrapper. And carefully remove it. Alright, so here it is. It's a really nice little motherboard here. So I picked this one mostly because it was white, and because it has the M2 slot on it right here, which is nice for using M2 devices. So we've got what looks to be heat sinks, but not really. I don't think they are, because at the end of the day, this is actually not even a Z chipset motherboard, so you're not going to be doing any kind of serious overclocking with it at all. So I think this is more for looks, because it doesn't look like it's made to dissipate heat in any way. And the white CPU cover, or white CPU socket cover here is actually pretty cool looking, although it's not going to do anything for me when it's actually off of the motherboard. It still looks kind of cool as far as unboxing it goes anyway. So we're going to have our PCI Express slot here, the totally kind of reinforced one there, and then we're going to have our standard PCI Express slot underneath. And the back here for the I/O is pretty cool looking too. We've got quite a lot of I/O here, as you guys can see. So we've got PS2, 2 USBs it looks like, and a VGA, a DVI, an HDMI, Ethernet, and some more audio cables and more USB to go with there. So the audio area of the motherboard is supposed to be over here, I believe. This is supposed to be kind of where it has its sound card stuff. It's supposed to be isolated from everything else. It's supposed to improve sound fidelity, but I don't know if it makes much of a difference, and quite honestly, I don't really care for this case. So I'm also noticing here that on the RAM slots, it's got some metal also. Not really sure if that's reinforcement. Like, this is supposed to be on the PCI Express slot, but nonetheless, it looks cool. It adds some shine to the build. Definitely helps bring out the color white. It is going to be DDR4. I'll be running 4 GB of DDR4 in this build. It's not a lot, but once again, this PC is not going to be a screaming performance monster here. If it wasn't for the fact that I wanted white, I probably would have gone with a cheaper board. Once more, this was $85, and comparable boards were about $75, $70, something like that. But they were black, and once again, I wanted to have a nice, different kind of PC build. So yeah, so that's about it for the motherboard here, guys. Really nothing much else to it. And I'll actually correct myself. It's actually going to be a display port on there, not VGA. I don't even know what I was thinking there. That'll be display port right there. Got my display interfaces all mixed up there. So yeah, guys, that's going to pretty much sum up this motherboard. I appreciate you guys watching the video. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe, guys. Thanks a lot.